So having done quite a bit of work on the railway with the cottages, factories and things, I created a new hill. I had an area that needed to be filled in, and I thought, well, what about a ploughed field? Not sure how to go about it. I thought, well, I'll give it a try. I used some grout and then scraped the surface with a homemade plough to give a sort of ploughed stroke harrowed effect. So here's the little piece. It's a piece of plastic, and literally just filed some notches. So once the grout was put on, just spread it out like that, and it's drying and it's beginning to look a little bit like it could be a ploughed field. I'll see what it looks like once it's painted. But I'm just going to do a little bit more just to fill in a bit more of the gap, and I'll record that for you. So, a pot, old plastic Chinese pot, and some flexible floor and wall grout, just what I had. It's got a bit damp, but you can see it's coming out a little bit in lumps. Don't need too much. Do that. And because it's in lumps, just going to break it up a little bit to try and get it a bit more like a powder. Although, of course, a ploughed field does have stones and rocks and things in it sometimes, so it doesn't all get that mixed up. That's okay. So we'll just give it a good tamping down. Most of the larger lumps gone, just keep going for a little bit longer. There's some of the small ones. That's coming, that's about powdering. Right, okay. Bit of water. Mix it up. Always goes a little bit lumpy when you start mixing it, but hopefully it'll all mix in with all the dry bits. What I'm trying to do is get a sort of a thick paste consistency so that it will scrape out really easily. Sprayed a bit all over the floor. To find that and clean that up in a bit. And have a go at the other side. So I think you can hopefully see it's sort of it's a thick paste. All the dry bits incorporated. Will do. Okay, so I'll pour it on. It's quite thick, it'll take a little while, so pour it out. There we go, it's coming out. Nearly there. So that's that. So we'll just spread this out. Let's go up towards the fence line, across, and come out this way a little bit. Try not to get onto the grass too much. Smooth that out. This way. Okay, sort of reasonably smooth. So now we go for the plough. It's just a matter of gently scraping it over the surface. I'll probably go across the top there because obviously you wouldn't be able to plough right up to the fence. And that is it. It's not terribly deeply ridged. This is a bit deeper, that's a bit shallower. So now we just need to leave this to dry. The first section I did has been drying for about 2.5 to 3 days. This one's been about 2 days and it's still got a little bit of dampness in it. And obviously this one's going to take a bit of time to dry. And then we will have a look. I might just trim off some of the edges possibly. But I'm planning to paint it with a sort of a yellowy orange clay sort of colour, and then probably I'm going to put some little dabs of glue and just sprinkle a little bit of static grass over it in different colours, different areas, particularly around the edges, and then see if it looks like a field that was recently ploughed and harrowed and perhaps a few weeds still growing in it. Anyway, hope you find that useful. The grout remains crumbly on the surface for quite a long time. Seems to take a long time to dry out, but hopefully a coat of PVA on the first couple of sections will seal the surface and allow me to start painting them, so I can experiment with different colours. I've got a few colours ready, ochres and sort of light mushrooms and things like that, so mix and see if we can make a sort of clay finish. So the PVA has dried on the first bit. It's a little bit shiny, perhaps can't see that on the video, but I'm now going to try a few different colours of acrylic paint to see what looks sort of clay-like. I'm going to paint a few bits on and then we'll have a little look at them. So these were the 4 colours I had to hand to see how they would work, and so we've got the beige red, which is the sort of pinky one down here. That was a bit too bright. I tried the cork brown next to it. That's a little bit wishy-washy. The yellow ochre is obviously too vibrant and the leather brown is too dark. However, by mixing a little bit of the leather brown over to the left here, sorry, I'm trying to hold the camera and talk, with some of the beige red and a little bit of cork brown, then the bit at the back there sort of looks the right sort of colour. I think sort of with a bit of smearing of other colours into it, I think we might get away with that. So I'll let this lot dry, then mix up a sort of mix and paint a bit of it, and then see once it's dried what it looks like. So about half the field with a sort of browny base. I'll probably just dab a few extra darker colours and lighter colours on to give it a texture. Waiting for now the PVA on the right hand half to dry. You can see it's still white because I've only just applied it. Once that's dried, I'll finish the brown off and then, as I say, give some definition to the field. And then once that's all dried, probably just dab on some little bits of PVA around, scatter on some static grass, and sort of make some weeds, particularly around the edges of the field. Well, there we go, that's the field painted brown. I might just put a few other flecks of colour on it, just to try and make it look a bit more varied. Now I've got to sort out what to do about the edge around here. Whether I need to put a bit more filler down or I can just get away with grass. I also need to start putting some grass around the edges of the field, some bushes as well probably, just to break up the boundary line. Anyway, on with the action. So a little bit more done. We've got a field gate here and I've filled in the soil. Well, I just painted it. I haven't actually put some filler in. Might have to add a bit. A little bit of fence so farm vehicles can get in and out of the field, and we've also got some bushes now along the back border, a little bit of a sort of rough ground there where the plough wouldn't be able to get in. Probably need to do a little bit down this side, but I think what I'm going to do is put some static grass down this side. I've got a few bits, and then I might just put a little very light sprinkling of static grass and little dabs of glue on the field, just to sort of, some weeds that are growing up already, even though it was only just ploughed. So there we go, making tracks. Ploughed field now sort of finished, some little weeds growing in it, as you can see. All I need to now is to wait for Christmas, and hopefully we'll get a tractor to put in it.